First off, thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, this would not be possible. Low Nose Boxing. Hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Richardson Hitchins just put up a blistering performance. He outperformed Lomachenko, he outperformed Devin Haney, and I say that because those are the two other guys that defeated George Kambosos Jr. Richardson Hitchins showed the epitome of the sweet science, and we already know that Turkey out of sheep has been very critical of fighters that like to be very defensive, fighting on the back foot, fighters that like to move around and run. A lot of people say, oh, that's the sweet science. No. What Richardson Hitchins did tonight, that's the sweet science. He boxed from the outside, he used his jab, he stood in the pocket, he fought in a circle. He did not run, he did not give ground, he boxed. This is the difference between boxing and running. What Richardson Hitchins did tonight doesn't mirror anything like what Devin Haney did or like what Shakur Stevenson did against Edwin De Los Santos. Y'all already know that the 140-pound division is the weight class that I'm heavily invested in. That's the deepest division in boxing. That's the most talent-rich division in boxing. So many different varieties and styles at 140 pounds. I've been saying it for quite some time. This may be the best ever at junior welterweight that I can recall in quite some time. Richardson Hitchins looked very sharp. He kept the jab out there. He kept the stick. He went to the body. His defense was sharp. He was throwing combinations. This was his version of a Floyd Mayweather domination of Arturo Gatti. And I've been saying that Richardson Hitchins, for me, is the preferred next fight for Teofimo Lopez for me, in my choosing. Even though they're talking about Teo versus Devin. If Teo versus Devin does not happen, let's get this fight. Teofimo Lopez versus Richardson Hitchins. Hitchins is really undefeated physically. Devin is undefeated on paper, but Hitchins is really undefeated. He's a world champion. He just had his best performance tonight. That's the next fight that we need. Teo versus Richardson Hitchins. Teo right now, all due respect, my favorite fighter, looking like a duck with the Devin Haney situation. But if he takes on Richardson Hitchins, all things are forgiven. The duck jacket comes off. This is the fight we need to see. Richardson Hitchins just separated himself tonight from the rest of the guys at 140 in terms of performances. He dominated a former world champion, a former undisputed lightweight champion in George Kambosos. He did not play with his food. He stopped him. Richardson Hitchins has definitely entered a new phase in his career, right? You know, I've been saying for a while, we got the new four kings, Teo, Tank, Devin, Shakur. Out of respect to those guys, the original four kings, I'm not going to call these guys the kings anymore. What I'm going to call them is the fantastic young champions in boxing. Between 135 and 140, we have fantastic young in their prime fighters. And it doesn't have to be four. We got Teo, we got Tank, we got Devin, we got Shakur, now we got Richardson Hitchins, and of course, Keyshawn Davis as well. Richardson Hitchins, there's a lot of great fights for him. If him and Teo doesn't happen, we can see a Richardson Hitchins versus Subriel Matias versus Alberto Puello winner, or Richardson Hitchins versus a Gary Antoine Russell, or Richardson Hitchins versus Keyshawn Davis. Nevertheless, the 140 pounds division is stacked, and Richardson Hitchins has made an emphatic statement tonight. With that being said, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment. Low Nose Boxing. I'm out.